We've been asked a lot recently whether a client should actually set up a self-managed super fund and buy a property, and is this a good idea? Unfortunately, it's not a straightforward answer. First of all, there are a lot of rules and regulations around self-managed superannuation funds, and if you have a self-managed one, that means you're the trustees and you must work within these rules and obligations as trustees on behalf of the members. The question being is, should I buy a property within a self-managed super fund, and is this a good long-term strategy? The answer is it could be. But once again, unlike owning that property within your personal name, where you can actually choose what you do, make renovations, etc., you don't have those same rules within a self-managed superannuation fund. But there are a couple specifics that you should understand. First of all, the rough guidelines provided by ASIC and the ATO is that you should have a minimum balance of at least $200,000 before even considering a self-managed superannuation fund. If you're looking at buying a property, whereas 2 years ago for that residential investment property, you might have been able to use a 10% deposit and borrow 90% within your superannuation fund. Nowadays, banks are looking at more of lending 80, in most cases 70% against the value of that property. You also have to be concerned about the actual interest rates. Whereas an interest rate at the moment is quite low, banks are currently actually doing their numbers based on an interest rate of 7.8%. They're not charging you 7.8, but they want to make sure that you have liquidity and have enough funds to be able to support an interest rate of 7.8%. Assuming that your rent is certainly not going to be 7.8%, this is something else that you must factor into that property as well. So is it a good strategy in respect to an investment as a residential investment? The answer is yes, it can be, but you have to look at all the other factors. If you are a small business owner, owning your own business premises within a self-managed superannuation fund is a wonderful strategy. First of all, being the landlord, the super fund being the landlord, you are paying the rent to yourself. It is a great strategy. Obviously, you'd suggest that you've got a good tenant because you're paying your own rent, but long run, it can actually help you increase the benefit or the size of your superannuation fund by not just making your normal concessional or non-concessional contributions into super, but by also having the rent paid in as well, as you are now your own landlord in a very tax-effective structure. I hope that helps with that question.